My name is Keyon Harrold, trumpeter, producer, musician. Shout out to Mass Appeal, Sony Legacy. We bringing music to everybody, classic music to everybody. When I moved to New York City, 1999, 18-year-old, fresh out of Ferguson, fresh out of St. Louis, I was serious about straight ahead jazz. Wynton Marsalis, Freddie Hubbard, Clifford Brown, Miles, everybody. I just wanted to be just like that. But that changed quickly because my first professional gig was playing with Common. Before that, I was not a hip hop head per se. I didn't love the idea of what hip hop is, but that moment changed me. Just all the music, rocking with the samples, listening to the music, getting deep to the elements of each song, it changed me, made me want to be a deeper musician. Just that whole record, like Water for Chocolate, just put me in a mind state that I needed to grow as a musician. Jazz wasn't it for me as an artist. I love jazz, but it's not the only thing. It's a part of me. It's like in my DNA, it's in my blood, I bleed it, but my approach, my message is deeper than that road. My introduction to jazz came from my family. I have a musical family, it's a lot of us. All of my cousins played, all of my brothers and sisters played, my parents were pastors, so we played in church. What was the most, pertinent thing was my grandfather ran a drum and bugle corps, which we played jazz. We played stuff from Count Basie Orchestra, Duke Ellington every day, so I had to listen to this and play this stuff even if I didn't want to. My dad would make me play Summertime. He would make me play that over and over again, until I got it right. The title of my new record is called The Mugician. That came from, some banter between Don Cheadle and I. I worked on the Miles Davis film, Miles Ahead. I played all of the trumpet parts that Don Cheadle was fingering. Some of it was Miles, but most of the time, whenever you hear Don Cheadle playing, it's myself playing. The idea of The Mugician came because we were sitting at a South by Southwest panel early in the morning, and we just, running on fumes, and Don was, he was paying me a compliment, and he said, you did an amazing job. What you did was nothing short of magic. It's like you're a magician. And, that went from a musician to a magician. So I said, what, like a mugician? And from that, it kind of stuck with me. When we got on the panel, he actually introduced me as the mugician. So, from that, I appreciate Don for really, pushing that. And it stuck with me, and it's rolling. It's the title of the record. The way I approached playing at Miles Davis, because I could never be Miles, Miles is the man, was I know Miles' music. I've been listening to it for as long as I can remember. I can remember my mom bringing, Kinda Blue home and me playing it, in the living room over and over again, me trying to learn exactly what he played, at the age of 11 and 12 years old. So that was in my DNA. My approach to trying to play Miles was basically being honest. Me being from St. Louis, Miles being from the same place, me being a jazz musician, me respecting all kind of music, I had to just pour that into the film. I had the opportunity to, basically speak like my father is the way I would look at it as. I'm from Ferguson, but I was not there when the Mike Brown thing happened. My dad lives 3 blocks from where it happened. And, I know the vibe there, the systemic racism that took place there, that still takes place there. I moved to move to New York in 1999. Obviously, Mike Brown thing happened in 2014, but you know, back then it was terrible. I had been stopped and, you know, arrested 3 times as a kid. Seriously, never charged, but just arrested, strip searched, the whole 9. It really was a reality as a black man, I wasn't even a man at that time, as a black kid, you know, growing up in that system. I didn't know it was different until I moved away from it. MB Lament was inspired, you know, directly from Mike Brown. Me being in New York at the time, thinking about another kid being, you know, needlessly taken off this planet for no good reason. I wanted to write and express my frustrations, thinking that that could be me as well. Easily could have been me. This was my gesture to Mike Brown, and not to just Mike Brown, to all of the kids, all of the black people, all the people of color who have been, you know, sifted away for no reason. When Nas reached out, you know, it was fantastic to me, incredible. You know, I didn't want to do the traditional jazz route that most people do, because I'm not a traditional jazz musician. Nas is definitely my top MC. You know, knowing that his father was also a trumpet player and a jazz musician. My brother used to hit with him at St. Nick's Pub up in Harlem. When I approach music, I like to approach improvisation as an MC, as a rapper, as an artist. You know, I used to listen to Nas, I used to listen to Jay, I used to listen to Busta, I used to listen to Common, just for phrasing. As an improvising musician, you know, you got to figure out what can make you stand out. The way people phrase things, mixed with harmony, can get you your own identity. So I've used Nas, you know, as a part of my identity. Some of the guys as, you know, the way I approach jazz. You know, it goes back and forth. It's like the parent influences the kid, and the kid influences the parent again. So that's the way I see music in general. I'm very excited about this collaboration and looking forward to bringing music to the masses. Mass appeal, you know, is where we at right now.